And good afternoon. Welcome along to another live stream. We are here with a pretty big moment for the channel today. It is great to have you all along as we have just kicked off between Hungary and Switzerland. And for the next couple of hours, we're going to be doing what many regular viewers will know we've done for a long time now, which is we're going to come and watch the football. We're going to have a bit of fun. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy it. Now, there is a little bit of a technical update today for the first ever time. And I thought I'd pick this stream because I think it will be one of the quieter ones of the Euros and hopefully make it a bit easier if it goes wrong. We are for the first time trying live multi-streaming, which means we are live on Twitch as we always are. But we're also at the moment live on YouTube as well. Now, I've got a chat that shows me all from both at the same time. So Steve over on Twitch, good afternoon. Good morning to you because I know you're in the US. Lucas, good afternoon to you. But what we're doing is we're reading a chat from both and we'll catch up and we'll talk a bit about football as we go along. I want to get your predictions. Bear with me first. I want to get your predictions for this game. Who do you both think are going to win? And everyone else coming in, what are you going for today? Hungary are a team that a lot of people are starting to back and support and think might do well in this tournament. Whereas for Switzerland, a side that always seem to find results, even though they're perhaps not in the best of states at the moment, maybe not a side that you would associate with being brilliant. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's the first time where Hungary have probably come into a game like that with a bit of expectation. Looked like maybe a high foot there, but back to the edge of the box, not dealt with. Switzerland on the attack and they're through. Was that offside though? Doesn't matter, it's a great block. Yeah, get your predictions in. Who you think is going to win both on Twitch and on YouTube. Let us know who you think is coming out on top in this game. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about last night's game, Germany-Scotland. We're going to talk about the other two coming up later today as well. Steve, Hungary to win 1-0. Yeah, I've kind of gone for a Hungary win. Not hugely comfortable, but I think maybe just a little bit more of a cohesive attacking threat and possibly a bit more solid defensively at the minute as well. So I've gone for 2-0, I think, on the predictor, but I'm not entirely sure of that. Lucas, who do you think is the biggest team in Brazil? That's a good question, actually. Because over here, we don't really get any coverage at all of South American football. So it's sort of based on history, a little bit on Football Manager and things like that. Obviously, Santos until recent years were always a big one. Fluminense get quite a lot of coverage because of some of the players coming out of there. I mean, there's some huge clubs, aren't there? But yeah, there's not a great deal of coverage of South American football in the UK. It's a bit of a sad thing. The only thing we ever really get here is on terrestrial TV. They showed a Copa Libertadores final. That's the only thing we really get. So it's quite hard for me to judge based on that. But they're probably two of the teams we hear the most about over here. But I'm not sure who I would say is the biggest, to be honest. Yeah, Steve, again. If anyone asks, you say it's Sao Paulo. Well, I will tell you about Sao Paulo. In the early 2010s, on a Football Manager save, I picked up a couple of great players from there. Bergie, welcome in. Good to see you along. I hope you're keeping well. Thank you for being here this afternoon. It's been a horrible morning in the footballing world, hasn't it? It was just news of loads of good people dying young. It was a sad old morning. So hopefully now we can get a bit of Euros fever back and focus on the football, as that is a late challenge from the Switzerland midfielder, and it's the first tackle of the game, but he's getting a booking already. The referee was right up in his face there as well. I hope you're well, Bergie. I presume if you're all in this stream, are you watching it? Who do you think is going to win? It's Kirkes, the young Bournemouth fullback, who's fouled. It's a bad tackle, actually. Not as bad as the Ryan Porteous one yesterday, mind you, but still not ideal. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get to this a bit later on as well. We're starting to slow down in the success rate over here. I think Brazilian football is available over here, but don't really get to watch. Same for Argentina. Yeah, and obviously not always sociable times from the UK point of view. But I do always make the effort to watch the Libertadores final when it comes on. So a quick reminder for those of you that maybe aren't aware, we are going to be doing a lot of watch-along streams in the next couple of weeks. We will be live tomorrow for the 5 PM game or the second game of the day, depending on where you are in the world. I'm really looking forward to that one. As I've mentioned before, I pick the games that, generally speaking, are the least enticing ones to watch as a neutral. You know, the games between two big sides, they're often going to be a bit cagey. Whereas these games, you look at it if you're Hungary and Switzerland and probably think, well, this is a chance for us to get the win that we need to get through in the group. The same tomorrow when we're watching Slovenia, Denmark. And not to mention that this is now a huge game for Scotland. The game we'll be watching at 5 tomorrow is a huge game for England, who are then playing at 8. And then like Monday, Romania, Ukraine, Tuesday, Turkey, Georgia. They're going to be exciting games, I think. So I'm looking forward to watching some of the less glamorous ties with you all. I think Switzerland might struggle to score goals, Berger. Yeah, I wouldn't be entirely surprised by that either. I think it's one of the things that's changed over recent years. While they have got a couple of attacking threats, they've maybe not got the same level of solidity defensively, so they have to protect it a bit more. Xhaka's playing a little bit deeper at times. We know obviously for years and years and years in all those tournaments, it was Lichtsteiner down the right-hand side who, for whatever his failings were at Arsenal later in his career, was a good solid fullback. Rodriguez isn't quite what he once was on the left. There's no doubt in that. But I've got a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a good atmosphere. And if we get an early goal, could really get going this game. Hungary fullback Kirkes. I have him in my Burnley save. Wow. I don't know how you've managed that second season to fly up the league. Because it took me 3 or 4 with Luton, didn't it? On the left-hand side, the ball's into the box. It's not a great one. And it is cleared away to the left-hand side. Hungary don't deal with it well. And now Switzerland have got a chance to counter from the throw, but they slow it down. Maybe not the smartest of decisions there. Who else have you signed in that save, Steve? Because I'm intrigued. We will talk a bit of FM as well, obviously. Who are you bringing in to get to that level? Because to just jump up the table like that, you must have made a few signings. Yeah, I mean, generally, it can just be momentum, tactically having the right setup for the opposition that's not easy to play against. But there must be a few different style of players. Kirkes obviously is pretty electric and forward-thinking. Maybe you've got 3 or 4 more like that. I don't know. You must have. I'd imagine you'd have had a few signings either way, wouldn't you? It's been a pretty quiet start from Hungary. It's not really seen anything from them on the attack. As we get to halfway, 8 minutes gone, the ball's just mainly spent its time in the centre third of the pitch. I've almost got to the end of the 4th season in my Hamilton save on FM09 as well. Really flying with that. Georgios Samaras has come in and he's starting to look like a bit of a gem, I've got to be honest. I think you would describe this as cagey so far. I have got some high potential young players. Yeah, I suppose with Burnley, if you can get through the first year or two, there are those players that possibly move on to the next level, aren't there? Sort of what we've had with Aberdeen, which obviously we'll be back with in the morning on here, where Connor Barron's starting to reach his potential. Ryan Duncan having stayed as well. Got like a little shirt or arm pull on Sobosai there, but nothing given. And Switzerland are able to push forward. They have shown more of the attacking intent early on. But Xhaka's almost playing as the deepest midfielder, which I'm not sure suits his style. But it is something he's having to do to help protect this defence now. But on the break, this is where Hungary are going to be the threat. But you can see Switzerland, they're pressing high because they want to prevent that break. That they have got in down the right-hand side. Akanji's trying to block the pass to the middle. It's good positioning. It's back to the edge to Sobosai. And a second option there as well. And it's put over the bar in the end by Salai. Good football on a counter from Hungary, though. It's probably the plan Scotland were going for last time. I think Hungary are slightly better at it. Bergia, I have Ruben Vargas in my Augsburg save playing as a right wing back. Like here, he is like here an inside forward, very versatile. Yeah, it was one of the things that I guess maybe surprised me with Scotland yesterday, having Patterson and Hickey out, is when I've watched Southampton a couple of times this year, Stuart Armstrong's dropped in at right wing back. And I know it was a risk defensively, but Scotland just couldn't keep the ball. They couldn't move forwards. And I just thought that maybe would have helped deal with it a little bit. Steve, you got Karabek in, interesting. Sangante at centre half. So it's not been a huge big name overhaul. You've not gone buying in Wonder Kids or anything. I thought maybe you'd stumbled on a couple of gems like I did with Krupi over at Aberdeen. A quick reminder for those coming in as well on both platforms. We are live for the first time today on both Twitch and YouTube, which hopefully will work pretty solidly. So come and say hello, whichever one you're on. And don't worry, it won't affect the usual YouTube video, which is scheduled and coming out at 3:30. I got Brennan Johnson on loan from Spurs. Wow. Was that must have been pushing the wage boundary? Although, what sort of wages are the Burnley players on? I don't really know. Because the Luton ones are obviously a little inflated here. Speaking of Luton, Andros Townsend on co-commentary for this game, isn't he? Having a budding double career now, be a championship player and a football co-commentator. I was kind of hoping a bit. We kind of got spoilt yesterday, didn't we? Because the early goal opened the game up, and then Ryan Porteous stupidity made it a goal fest. No one on more than 50 at the minute, I suppose. So Luton at the start had Barkley on 45, and then everyone else was 30 or below, I want to say. Switzerland are starting to break forward again here down the right-hand side. Again, being forced back. Both of these sides getting very quickly into a solid defensive shape. Oh, it's a good through ball. Was it onside? It's in from Switzerland, but the flag goes up. Duar made the run. It was a beautiful little slide through ball through the middle of the two centre halves. It did look like he'd just gone early, but were my eyes and the assistant's eyes right? He's playing right on the shoulder. He probably doesn't need to. It's just whether the left back Kirkes plays him on. Let's have a look. Oh, he's on. He's on. Kirkes has played him on because his right foot is swinging way back behind the offside line. This is going to be a goal, you know. Unless there's some deception on the camera angle. Do you know what? I'm that confident. I'm going to get the score updated here. I'm that confident this is a goal. I'm going 1-0 Switzerland. I'm pretty sure that's onside. Kirkes' right foot is a good yard behind the rest of the offside line. And the Switzerland team that none of us predicted to score are 1-0 up. And what a treat it's been. We saw it last night as well. VAR working quick. VAR working well. Not a clear-cut one. The referee, the assistant, you can't blame him for getting that. But that's what VAR should be for. 30 seconds, goal awarded, job done. And Bergie, as you say, it's a goal. It must be. It's a beautiful pass. The through ball is stunning. Right through the middle of the defence. And that deep block just beaten so easily by it. Really cool collective finish as well. But that's absolutely beautiful. What a pass. I'm afraid Scotland might struggle to pace these teams have in comparison, but obviously different against Germany. Yeah, and that's part of the other miss with having the other fullback out. Either Hickey or Patterson make a big difference there. But like you say, it's hard to judge on the Germany game, especially when Porteous did what he did at half-time as well, just before half-time. Oh, that's not a good ball from the Hungary defender. They've not really got going here in this game. They had that one counter-attack, but that is it. And Ruben Rodriguez is almost tucking in from fullback just to come and mark Soberslight or whoever tries to drift into that 10 role. And it's working quite well for him. We tried getting Johnson permanently, but he wanted 115 grand a week. That's absolutely insane. Oh, he's landed on his arm there. That's a tough one. So he's fouled Akanji, and then when Akanji landed, no idea where it is, but his studs have gone right down on the arm of Salai. That's going to hurt. Yeah, Bergie, I mean, prior to yesterday's games, I'll be honest, we did the little evening stream, and I said Germany to win the group, but not as comfortably as we think. I think we might be able to change that now. I had Hungary second, and then Scotland and Switzerland battling it out in a second game for third, but from what we've seen so far, Swiss always just find a way, don't they? Oh, I love the automated offsides. They're so much better. Yeah, it's that big right leg, isn't it? Really, really good finish. Steve, in theory, I can buy him for 38 million at the end of his loan. That is more than I spent on any player in that Luton save, isn't it? Surely you'd be able to find a better player for 38 million, would you not? I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Because you must have other options. I mean, even in that Aberdeen save, we've got loads popping up that are capable of maybe reaching Premier League level. Switzerland are in again now with Duars just behind the defender. The right back was making the overlapping run. And Hungary, they're trying to do that break down the wing, but a bit like Scotland last night, there's a lot of familiarity to the pattern. Just giving the ball straight back to the opposition and allowing them to build up again from no real threat in their own final third. Salah is definitely going to have something broken in that arm, isn't he? That's going to have been a horrible landing. A quick shout out while we can early in the stream as well to HelloFresh. It's the final couple of hours of the partnership with them. You can find a link in the description on YouTube, the panels in Twitch. And if you sign up anywhere outside the UK, you get loads of money off your first box and free dessert for life. And mine, beautifully, it's like it knew when we were playing and when we were live streaming because it's come between 4:20 and 5. I mean, couldn't have timed it better. Steve, I think so. I only put that in as Spurs wanted it. No intention of paying it. Yeah, and quite often, particularly in this year's FM, if you have a mandatory future fee or the club wants one, if you change it to an optional one, you have to have a higher amount as well, don't you? So I quite often do that to get loans that I'd no intent of paying for either. Although we did get the one with Liam Scales in the first season like that, and then it actually ended up working out for us. And I think we had the same with Harwood Bellis in the Luton Twitch save, didn't we? He's just popped up in that Aberdeen save as out of contract at the end of the year, and I'm desperately hoping that he'll agree to join. It makes a huge difference if we can get someone of that quality. Jambo, good to have you in. Thank you for putting the effort to come and say hello. I do appreciate it. It's been a surprising game so far, I would say. Not maybe gone the way we thought. Hungary haven't looked as solid defensively. I didn't get first team and score right this time. No. Well, everyone in the chat so far, no one's predicted Switzerland to score a goal even in this game. I didn't, Steve didn't, Bergie didn't. It's not gone well. I'll have a look to see what you've gone for later today in that Euro Predictor League as well. I feel like we should mention it. You said 1-1 Jumbo. Oh, fair enough. I said 2-0 Hungary. I'm interested to know what you're all expecting from the two games later today. Obviously, I've put my little prediction video out, but I was pretty sure that Spain would have a tough game against Croatia, where maybe Croatia aren't the power they once were, but they're going to be hard to beat. And Spain, I know they've put 5 past Andorra and Northern Ireland, but they're poorer sides. Against some of the better sides or the more organised sides, we saw the Colombia game, they struggled to put the ball away. So I think they might be frustrated. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Spain. But then I think Italy, Albania will be a bit like Germany, Scotland last night. I think they'll just have a bit too much. It'll be quite comfortable. I've gone for 3-1, but I'm not sure what the end-up score will be. Spain will be a draw. I wouldn't be shocked to see a 0-0 or a 1-0, a low-scoring draw there. Goalkeeping from Sommer. Comes and claims the cross really well. Yeah, Jamba, I think a lot of us will. When have you all played your booster? I played mine on Belgium v Slovakia tomorrow. Because I just think that will be the sort of game that suits them. I think Slovakia are one of the poorest sides in the tournament on paper. Hopefully they'll surprise us though. We all like an underdog story. I did get 7 points yesterday for... You've gone for England, Serbia as your booster. That's bold. Have you gone for Serbia to win then, Jumbo, or a draw? You won't have gone for an England win, surely. Let's have a look at the table here. So I've got 7 points. I've already lost out on Hungary, first goal scorer. Oh, and correct scorer. Switzerland are in again. It's going to be 2. Oh, it's a great save. Hungary are all over the place. Vargas in. He should have scored. He didn't keep it low. But the Hungary left-back, Kirkes, I don't know what he's doing there. There's literally no one the other side of him. Maybe he doesn't get the call, but someone's just got to tell him, turn out, and you've got literally all day the space to run into to pick up a pass. I have no idea what he's thinking there. Really odd. You've gone England to win, Jambo. What score did you go for? And scorers on that? Yours on the France game. What have you gone for, Steve? Josh, welcome in. Good to have you along. A quick update as you're coming in on YouTube here. So I'm doing my usual live streams on Twitch, but I'm trying out multi-streaming for the first time. So we are live on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. Yeah, I forget Twitch exists, but some people do, and some people prefer finding it on YouTube. The only difficulty with the simultaneous bit is that you can't preset them on all the platforms, so you have to pick one to do that. But just for a few people who want to come in and watch on YouTube, then hopefully, like yourself, you're able to find them, especially as we're doing these nearly every day. The more people that want to sit and watch the football with us, the better. It's always part of the fun, and there's plenty of debate throughout the Euros, isn't there? I don't think Serbia are good. Defensively, they're a mess, but so are England. And so are Denmark to an extent at the minute. So I actually think it'd be quite an interesting group. That's why I'm interested to see how Slovenia get on. Steve, I need to have a word with him. France 3-1. Interesting. I've gone for my shock of the week there in the France game. You've gone 3-0 England. Kane to get first goal. I don't see a clean sheet. I think without Maguire at set pieces as well, surely someone like a Mitrovic, a Vlahovic, whoever's about, someone's going to have a threat from a set piece. We're not great against the counter either. But I do think we'll score goals in the groups. Josh, who would be your England 11 for tomorrow? That's a great question to start. Pickford will start in goal. I mean, let's not do my 11. Let's do what we think it will be as well. Pickford will start. Walker will start. Shaw's not going to be fit, so it will be Trippier or Gomez, I think. And then I would imagine it'll be Guehi and Stones. In midfield, I'll go for Rice for Trent, because I think he'll want Trent in there as the sort of security belt of being able to go to a back five if he wants to. So Trent, I think, will start as a result of that. And then I think it'll go Bellingham, Foden, Saka, and Kane. Jambo, I did it mainly so if you win, I get cheered up. Fair enough. That makes sense. I'll let you get away with that one. I tell you what, Switzerland are managing this game really well. They're now keeping the ball. Hungary are trying to come out on press, but there's always the extra man. What would your England 11 be, Josh? And what would everyone else's England 11 be? Jambo would put them in a hat and put them all out of position, I presume, so England don't get through. I didn't realise as well, Sobosai, the youngest ever skipper at the Euros. Some effort, isn't it? Imagine how young you would have been a few years ago. Surprised it's not the goalkeeper, to be honest. And thank you to everyone who's coming along as well. It's great to see you here on both platforms. We will be doing some games, some quizzes, some sticker books as well later on. If you're on Twitch, I've reduced the prices of the channel rewards for this. But we will do a free sticker pack later in the game as well. Not that we're getting many at the moment. So, Jambo, you're actually top of the official Predictor League at the minute. Let me get the league up. I'll show you that as it stands table. Jambo, you're top on 13. Liam, Luke, and the other Daniel on 10. I speak. Welcome in. Good to have you here. I hope you're keeping well. Thank you for being along as always. Do appreciate it. Lovely to see a few people coming in and finding us over on YouTube as well, where obviously we've not usually got the simultaneous streams. We have got a double header tomorrow, so 10 a.m. UK time. We're going to try and multi-stream our FM one for the first time. So we'll be live with Aberdeen for the close of our second season, which culminates with a cup final. And then we're also back at 5 p.m. UK time, the second Euros game of the day. We're going to watch Slovenia v Denmark in the build-up to what is going to be a big England game in the evening. So plenty of chat as well. I'm joint 6th in the Predictor League, or joint 5th, sorry, with Steve. We've both got 7. And then Jake, Simon, both Jakes, Simon, Macca went for a Scotland result. He's only on 2. It's not looking good for me at the minute. Mid-table mediocrity. I'm weirdly getting a notification now. You know you're live on your channel, right? No, I just made it up by myself, didn't I? Here are Hungary in possession. They've only had 33% of the ball and they've been so sloppy on it. We've now got to the position where Szoboszlai's dropped almost into that deep defensive midfield role that he's played at times for Liverpool. And that's not going to help them on the attack. They're going for big, long diagonal counter-attacks. And it's really easy for Switzerland at the minute. They're completely comfortable dealing with the counters. Rodriguez is having a really solid game in there, cutting in the middle. And alongside Xhaka, it's quite a solid base they've got themselves there. And look at that. It's one pass. And I know he didn't turn on the ball there, but one pass into the forward and they were away. And he was just turning and running at the defence. Sensible game management, but not sure it's the long-term solution. They concede a goal, Switzerland. They may panic. That's a good challenge from the Hungary defender. It's been kept in play as well. Rodriguez wins it back, though. Switzerland's initial press when they lose the ball is outstanding. They're so hungry to get it back because they know if Hungary get on the counter, they'll have a chance. So they're trying to stop them getting out and playing those first couple of passes from defence because once it gets into the midfielders, they've got quality on the ball. The defenders aren't so confident, though, and we've seen them caught out 3-4 times already at least. Definitely not helping them, is it? Right, while we're all here, shall we do our one for the day? We're going to do Euro 2024 sticker pack. Now, I mentioned the first 100 packs we did. We barely had any doubles. It was really great. But we are starting to really slow down now. So we're going to open one pack and we'll see how we get on. I'm just going to pick one at random out of the box. There we go. Didn't like the feel of the other one. See how we get on. There's nearly half an hour on the clock here. Carl, welcome in. Good to have you along. Lovely time to join in as well. Apologies, headphone users, for that. But here we are opening with a sticker pack. And we start with Slovenia number 15. And that is Adam Serin. Not sure we need many of Slovenia. I mentioned it before. The first sticker is always a Group C or D team for some reason. Unfortunately, Adam Serin already there. We only need 3 on that page. The other side, bar the bottom shiny, looking lovely. As Switzerland try and get on the counter again. Dealt with really well. And Hungary just playing a long, aimless ball. Not got a chance of getting in at the minute. Tactically is very good from Switzerland. If you're popping in, let us know if you're watching the game, which games you're looking forward to most the next few days, and what you thought of Scotland yesterday, what you're thinking of England tomorrow, or if you're from another nation that's taking part. Give us your thoughts, give us your score predictions for the day. I'm always interested to know them. And let us know how your FM saves are going. I know it's not an FM stream, but you're more than welcome to tell us how it's going there. In again, Switzerland, but it's just blocked away. Again, Hungary trying to play out from the back, and it's given away with the first pass. Really poor. Next one. Iceland 12 and 13. Albert Goodmanson and William Williamson are the two there. Oh, that's not focusing very well at all, is it? There we go. I can't really disagree with that England lineup. Really just want the club football to come back. What are your expectations for the Hatters next year? And have you had any transfer activity yet? Well, let's address those individually. So, England lineup. Look, I know a lot of people want to see Rice, Foden and Bellingham as the midfield 3, but I don't think he'll go that bold, especially with key defenders missing. I think I'm not so worried about club football. I really love the international tournaments, and hopefully these sorts of things are great. It's when it gets to like there's 2 or 3 days in between the rounds without games, but then that's normally when pre-season starts and you can get to loads of non-league games, so it's not too bad. Expectations for Luton next year, I think we'll be in the top 6 unless we lose the whole team. Barkley's about to join Villa for his relegation release clause. Doughty's been linked with Brentford. Adebayo's been linked with Fenerbahce and Brentford. And Osho's out of contract. Mengi is going to go to either Fulham or Palace, depending on who loses the most defenders. But there's no signs of any inj yet. But we're actually in a really good position. We've got a lot of good loan players coming back. We did a bit in January with next year in mind. So I'm actually really thrilled with how it's looking at the minute. And when you look at the other, it's more the other clubs around us. Like, obviously, Steve's a Burnley fan. They've had a bit of chaos with the manager situation. Sheffield United will have a points deduction and are in a bit of a mess anyway. Hull and Norwich both did well last year and then decided to sack managers. Sunderland perhaps not going to go for an inspiring appointment. Borough with Carrick, I think, will do well next year. And obviously Leeds will be probably the favourites, I would imagine. But yeah, I'm optimistic. Mystery shirt arrived, Jambo. Al Jazeera CF home from 1920. Is it a good kit? What does it look like? What are the colours? What are the patterns? Let's look for this Iceland sticker that we did about 10 minutes ago. 12 and 13. Well, we've got everything from Iceland apart from the badge. So, no, we're not going to have that. We're getting to this stage now, unfortunately. We've got another double here. Georgia 14 and 15. It's one of those little mini double stickers. As such. The two on a page ones. Now, they're in the final group, aren't they? 78. And unfortunately, by the goalkeeper and first defender, we've got all of them as well. So, no luck with that one either. It's a Hungary free kick here, just inside the Switzerland half. They're trying a routine, but went wrong a bit early there, I think. Jambo, let's have a look at the kit. Oh, that is quite nice, to be fair. I'm not sure about the style of the sponsor, but I do quite like the shirt. I've seen it compared to some of their other ones. You could have probably done a lot worse, I would imagine. Up to the edge from Hungary. It's an overhit free kick. They've got it wide on the left, though. It's still a chance to cross. It's into the back post. Sommer's there. Easy as you like. Same price I paid roughly without delivery. It's not too bad. I think Burnley will be there or thereabouts, but hard to predict till we get a manager and see who's leaving and staying. Yeah, it's much the same for us, but I just think with the manager, the stability, and look, maybe unlike you, we've not got so many young players that are going to get picked off. We know we're going to lose 3 or 4. A lot of the key players got injured at crucial times, so we're not losing them. And we'll have some of the forgotten men back, Nike and the Cambers. Amari Bell, who was out for months. People that were so key in our promotion, but then didn't get to feature near the end of the season. Fourth one, Scotland 12. And Scotland 12, Alan McGregor, one of those who got substituted yesterday. Wasn't a good night for Scotland, was it? I speak playing with Plymouth. First save. First season lost the playoff semi. You did very well to get in the top 6. Second season lost it on penalties. You're still overachieving. Who did you sign in the first season to get up to the top 6? You must have had a few players coming in. I asked for a non-screen shirt. Not Alan McGregor. Callum McGregor. Did I say Alan? Sorry. Callum McGregor. My fault. Unfortunately, despite not having that many in Scotland on that page, we have, as you can see, got Callum McGregor. So, not the best one, this. None out of 4 so far. There you go, Jambo. Definitely Callum McGregor. Next one. Italy P1. Now, these are those stickers at the front of each group where you get half on each side of the monument and you have to try and stick them close together, which is not my forte. But let's see what we've got. Italy, we have got both. As you can see there, the only one we haven't got is the one of Croatia at the start there. We've got P1, but not P2 of them. Now, the only thing that can save this pack is, do we need the shiny? Now, some of these are all silver. Some have a purple edge round it. It seems to just vary by pack and luck of the chance. But, Spain won. National Federation badge. Have we got it? Unfortunately, we've got all 3 of their shinies. So, as much as we've got a lot of them, it's another 0 out of 6 pack there, I'm afraid. Not good. Not good, unfortunately. And I can't blame any of you because that's the one I did myself. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Steve, for me, that's a bit of a Brucey bonus, isn't it? Getting Trafford off to Newcastle for a little bit of money as well. I mean, I guess he's a younger goalkeeper and they've got Nick Pope who's towards the end. Dubravka probably proved he wasn't going to be a long-term number 2 solution. So I guess it makes sense. But then they've not got Europe next year because of United winning the cup final. So he's only going to play a few cup games. Does seem odd, but yeah, good money for Burnley. We have a lot of players that might be thought of as first team squad. Manager will need to decide who he wants. Yeah, very similar situation for us. And obviously we've got good players come back from loan who did well out last season. Joe Taylor in League One was flying. McAtee the same. As Switzerland break into the box on the right again. Pass just behind the striker and then the midfielder as well. It was a lovely move to that point, but Switzerland have won it back 25 yards out again. Hungary just keep giving the ball away. Header away. Cleared 30 yards, but Switzerland's still going. I will admit it doesn't look like the best surface. It doesn't look like a great pitch. It's bobbly and that, but Switzerland are making it look a lot easier of the two. Lots of loans. I'm not surprised. Oh, Switzerland breaking down the right. Cut back and well cleared by the defender. Vargas breaking through there. They've got so much pace in those wide areas, Switzerland. Bit of trickery there too. Have a good stream, Jambo. Go and have a go with them on FM tonight. Go on. That's a great way to choose your save, isn't it? Have a go. See how you get on. Josh found my Euro 2004 sticker book the other day, funnily enough. So I've got all the completed Merlin Premier League books from 99 to 04. 98 I never finished. And then I had a break and then I've got 2014 World Cup, Euro 16, World Cup 18. Didn't do the last one because it was just poor. It was badly made from Panini. And this one hopefully will be finished soon. I like how shirts feel different from every country you go to. If you're into shirts, you're always gonna love those. The different feels, the different placements of sponsors, all those little things. I speak. Morgan Whittaker scored 30 goals as an advanced forward, played 5-3-2, switched to 4-3-3 halfway through second season, and Hardy got 24 as well. Yeah, I mean, they are the attacking threat. And if you play to them right in FM, you've got two players who can get in behind with a lot of quality, haven't you? So that combination, we've used it a couple of times in the past on FM saves of the advanced forward and poacher or two strikers running in behind. That's where Hungary are making the mistakes. This might be offside if it does come to anything. But they have a simple pass out wide and instead they try and play the outside of the football 30 yards forward. Just keep the ball, keep it sensible. Not done on this occasion. Rogerio, welcome in. Trying a top 30 challenge on FM. Starting unemployed with a Continental Pro. It's February and still don't have a job. Can only get a job in Sweden, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovenia or Slovakia. I guess you've probably got to wait for the first summer to see whether you'll have an opportunity to get one of the big jobs. But yeah, otherwise that could be quite difficult, couldn't it? A quick note as well for those watching on YouTube. I will set up in the coming days. So all of the little alerts and links that pop up in the Twitch chat and that you're obviously seeing on the screen will pop up on yours as well. Couldn't get it all done in time for today though. They'll be worth a fortune, Josh. Let's test your theory on that. Should we go and have a look? Merlin 1999 Premier League, yeah? I want to see. No, not hugely. Oh, free kick in from Hungary. Free header 8 yards out. I think it's Orban. Straight as Sommer. It's really poor. We've had 4 unsuccessful applications. Yeah, I think you're more likely to be lucky in a summer, Rogerio, because a lot of managers move to international jobs, don't they? So the completed book looks like maybe 60 quid, 70 quid. Not more than it would have. Well, I suppose probably is more than it would have cost to make it back then, isn't it? I'm just going to keep going through the years and see if there's any standout ones. Yeah, completed. We're talking 40-50 again. Oh, it's bringing me back, seeing some of the covers, some of the stickers. Oh, those were the days. Time goes too fast. Doesn't seem that long ago. Me and my mates are playing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. For us, it was Pro Evolution Soccer 2 before the 2002 World Cup. We still play it now whenever we have a podcast get together. Then LMA Manager 03, the first couple of Football Managers 05 and 06. Just all-nighters playing ridiculous saves, trying to build the quickest teams in the world. Danny Haynes and Gabby Agbonlahor on the wings for Barcelona. It's insane, isn't it? I remember FIFA 05. It's a terrible game, but it was the first one that had like a proper functioning career mode, where you started as one of the worst teams in League 2, and that was fun as well. Switzerland trying to play out from the back here. Hungary have changed tack. They're just pressing high here. If they get caught out, this could be trouble. And they have been caught out because Switzerland are now in with a 3-on-2 at the other end. They've been forced wide, but it's Dwar running off it. 3 in the middle. Oh, he's not looked up. First time cross. Defender misses the headed clearance. It's out for a Switzerland throw, having grazed off him, sorry. Nearly said glazed. It's been a really confident first half performance from Switzerland. Not what we were perhaps expecting, given the talk about Hungary, but maybe they're going to be the Turkey of this tournament. You remember in the Euros 3 years ago, where everyone said Turkey are going to be absolutely brilliant. They're going to fly. And they just didn't turn up. They struggled with it. Sounds insane, and Braithwaite end up at Barca. Yeah, one of the things, Josh, I don't know if you would have played it back then, but around FMO 5-6, like the first few editions of it, virtually every young player, the training was so heavily weighted towards physical attributes. And I think it was 06 where strength used to just go up to 20 for virtually everyone. So if you had players who had electric pace, like Danny Haynes and Agbonlahor, who were 20 paces, then you could just go 20 strength. And you'd end up having these perfect physical specimens. We should know better by now than to write off Switzerland. Oh, Steve, I did say yesterday whilst writing them off, didn't I? I always find a way we shouldn't write them off, yet wrote them off at exactly that moment. And here they are making us all look silly again. One of those things, isn't it? The beauty of football. Thought Scotland would give it a tight game yesterday, didn't turn up. Hungary so far struggling to do the same here. Yeah, and to be fair, as you say, Josh, I mean, you talk about them being crazy deals at the time, but then about 3 or 4 years later, that's when like Julian Forbear ended up at Real Madrid on loan. So it wasn't there were a lot of bizarre transfers in the footballing world, weren't there? All back to Sommer, under a little bit of pressure, but he gets it clear. The only real threat Hungary have had is a couple of set pieces, to be honest. They're playing to midfield, they lose it. Every pass forward there. It seems to go wrong. The anti-conventional wisdom Euros, yeah. Oh, Switzerland in down the right again. Vargas, oh, why did you cut back? Wrong decision, totally. They're penned in the Hungary half again, though. There's got to be a tactical tweak at half-time. Based on that, I should be a bit worried about my predictions later, because I've gone with conventional wisdom with a Spain 1-0 and Italy 3-1. Edge of the box for Switzerland. Overlap on the left, Rodriguez. It's for space on the right. That's a great goal. What a finish that is. And do not underestimate the role of Ruben Rodriguez there. On the edge of the box, 20 yards out. Sees his man's not got that much time and space. And he's trying to find an angle. So he makes a big, mazy, overlapping run. Runs all the way deliberately and clearly round the outside. But again, Hungary lose it in their own box. I mean, it's ridiculous. But they're trying to find space here. And Rodriguez just draws a man away so he can turn back onto his right. Into the corner. Keeper's got no chance. That's glorious. And Switzerland, you've got to say, this doesn't flatter them at all. They're 2-0 up. They've deservedly so. Yes, there's been one brilliant chance for Hungary from a set piece, but Switzerland have dominated the game. They've been tactically better. They've pressed so well when they've lost the ball. And now we get to update and double their lead because it is Hungary 0, Switzerland 2. The opposite score to what I went for. Absolutely brilliant. What a start to the Euros for me. They're very good value for it. Maybe Hungary should have scored a set piece in terms of clear-cut chances, but in terms of over the course of the game, value for the lead, absolutely. 100%. Josh, Germany always find a way in a major tournament. They'll do well despite everyone writing them off. Yeah, I mean, on a different level, very similar to Switzerland, isn't it? Switzerland always get out the groups no matter what state they're in, and Germany always find a way to the knockout stages. I know they had a poor Euros last time and the World Cup, but they are an improving side. You look at the players they're bringing on yesterday and you go, actually, they're not a bad team, are they? And Musiala was just glorious. He was a joy to watch yesterday. That all the Swiss fans behind the end that they're defending at the minute. Having a lovely time. It's very Swiss dominant here, isn't it? I'm just trying to look at the Hungary bench to see what they've got. They've got big Martin Adam there. They can maybe go, if they're going to keep going direct, they've got to chuck him up there, you'd assume. But that is the half-time whistle. It's 2-0. And that is about as comfortable as Switzerland could have hoped it would be. If they can just make sure they defend set pieces well now, it'll be a very comfy afternoon for them. And aside from that, you've got Callum Styles, who obviously is a name that English fans will know, but there's not a lot on that Hungary bench. The best players are playing. Switzerland, obviously, if they're behind in a game, they've got people like Okafor and Bolo, Shaqiri, who can come on. Anduni's been mentioned here before. And defensively, they've got the likes of Valverde and Sturgeon to shore it up. So they've... Actually, you look at that squad and you think, it's not that bad, is it, the Swiss one? Akanji's a wonderful defender. Rodriguez is an experienced defender. Xhaka in the middle has just won the Bundesliga. Vargas and Dua are always a handful. Maybe the Swiss have been underrated again. Scotty Mac, good afternoon. Good to have you in. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're having a good one. Obviously, I've not even mentioned Fabian Schär there at Newcastle. He's a good player. Pops up with goals at key times as well. What were your thoughts on last night, Scott? In all seriousness, I mean, I was surprised Porteous started, and then not surprised that he did what he did. But there you go. And while we've got the halftime break, obviously we will take a quick break in a minute and go and top up the drinks and all of that stuff. However, I will ask very quickly while we're doing so, what are your expectations for the two games tonight? I know a few of you have come in already, but for anyone who's new in or hasn't been in when we asked the first time, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania, what are you thinking? And the first game tomorrow at 2 p.m. Because obviously we're not going to be live till the 5 p.m. match, albeit we'll be playing a bit of FM in the morning. Bush, thank you very much for the follow over on Twitch. Do appreciate that. We would have won 1-0 if they hadn't scored 5. But to be fair, Scott, they scored 6, didn't they? Just Tony gave you one. He was feeling generous. It was a strange game. Really was strange. A lot of reminiscence between Scotland last night and Hungary here. Just not been able to get out. I don't think they have anyone amazing, but there's a lot of solid international players there. Yeah, I think that's the thing, Steve. That obviously when he was a bit younger, Shaqiri was considered that bit of world-class magic. And maybe it worked against them. They're playing into those players a bit. But they've just got so many good players. They've got pace in wide and attacking areas. They've got experienced, solid defensive players. It's a good combination the Swiss have got. And the more you look at it, you look at Scotland and go, oh dear. I did say yesterday that it was either going to be close or we'd get hammered. You did? I'm sure you were hoping it was the other one, weren't you? But there we go. So the early game tomorrow, Poland v Netherlands. That's sandwiched in between our two live streams. The FM one in the morning. And the football one in the afternoon, watching Slovenia, Denmark. Isn't it lovely having the game flowing, not much stoppage time? VAR working really quickly and not adding 4 minutes onto the half. Surely the PGMOL and the Scottish refereeing boards, they've got to be watching this and thinking, yeah, maybe we need to just do it this way. Because that one yesterday, even a penalty, it was clear, it was relatively quick. It overturned a refereeing mistake, which was a big mistake because Porteous, even on first glance live, I went, that's a red card and a penalty. I speak, that's very good. That's the way I manage an FM though. Sell your players for big money. You use a little bit of it to improve the squad, but not too much. And then you can look at certain other areas like improving the training facilities, improving the size of the stadium, youth recruitment for intakes, all that sort of stuff to make money in the future. I mean, Whittaker, I would expect to go in real life this summer for pretty big money. McBurney's always a good player in FM. Not sure I'll be going for 15 million again in real life, but we tried to sign him in the Luton save back at the start of the year and couldn't. Scott, I look at that team. We have 2 or 3 good players. The rest are not up to standards. Tactic-wise, it was terrible. It looked terrible after going 1 down, but I can understand why it was going for it. I do feel you really missed having the right wing back. I don't think the midfield setup was perhaps right, but then I think it would have been Kane if he played the more defensive option, so it sort of lost a bit there. Which I really thought Scotland before the game started were going to win because McSauce even put money on it. Oh dear. I know it was over when Tierney celebrated the goal kick in the 3rd minute. I did notice that. Robertson and Tierney having a big party there, but I mean, unfortunately, if Ryan Porteous is in, I know he got caned for putting Scott McTominay centre half for such a long time, but when you watch Porteous play at centre half, you go, yeah, I kind of get why he did it. Should have taken Simon Murray, Scott. Should have taken wee Alan Campbell. He would have been a right dog running around there in holding midfield. The very odd one, wasn't it? But yeah, 2 games to bounce back still. Thank you everyone for coming in on both platforms. Touchwood, the concurrent simultaneous streaming is working pretty well. What we are going to do very quickly though, while it's half time, is take a break to top up the drink and all of that. So we're going to leave the ads running on Twitch. If you're happy to, please do leave them. It does make a difference to the channel. We're going to be back in 3 minutes for the second half. We'll do another sticker pack. We'll do a couple of quizzes as well. So keep involved, keep coming along. Get involved in the chat with your predictions for the later games today, and we'll talk about them when we get back, because we haven't really touched on them that much yet. But we'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you there for the second half. And we're back, just like that. The ads are still going at half time. I've got my drink ready to top up, so excuse the... should have probably opened this before we came back, shouldn't I? Nice bit of fizz to come along there. Scott, Ross County transfers for the new season. We'll have a look at those in a second. I'm just going through the January transfer window in a couple of saves. So there's some interesting bits about. And I've just recorded the director of football transfer window in the coach's head save for next week, which is also fun. So it's transfers galore at the minute. Let's have a look, Scott, what you've gone for. No crazy fees, I'll give you that. Not quite as big as we've gone with Aberdeen. The unranked Louis Barry, interesting name. So he's still got massive potential in FM as well, hasn't he? So kind of makes sense. There comes the Storm again. Thank you all for sticking with us as well. Our first ever multi-stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I'm hoping to add TikTok in later as well, but it's a little bit different how it runs there in terms of the credentials, the stream title length and all those silly things. So that one might take a couple of days longer. And for now, we are back after a first half in which Switzerland are very good value for a dominant lead against Hungary. Not what most of us expected, but the Swiss always find a way, as we mentioned, and they've done so here and made us all look pretty silly. I presume with your saves again, Scott. Kev the FM Daddy, very kind of you. Let me get you a shout out in there. Twitch raid, lovely stuff. We're trying to be clever today. Kev, we're trying to multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. If you are on Twitch, see that at the top of the chat. Go and give Kev a follow if you can, a fellow Luton fan. It's going very well. We're nice and chill today. We've just come back in for the second half after our break. We're just sitting watching the football, having a chat about the Euros. It's been lovely stuff. How was your stream? How is it going on? And were you playing FM? I presume you were. I Speak's not actually our cat. It's one of the neighbours, but it just pops in because it's raining. So it always pops in. Love the imagery. Yeah, we've tried to have a bit of a graphics upgrade with this Adney FM, and it's coming on YouTube next week as well. So we're getting there. We're trying to bring a hint of professionalism to it. I think fairly professional is the term I used, which Scott has thrown back in my face several times since already, as has Steve as well. What do you make of the first half? Really surprised. Very similar to yesterday in a way. People thought Hungary would be quite compact, solid and good on the counter, the same as Scotland, and neither have been able to get out their own half, to be honest. Nud, welcome in. I found that trigger to press more often with stay on the feet works wonders. Yeah, I press more often anyway. I used to stay on the feet, but I don't now. I leave it unbalanced, and it's not quite as scary, but it used to be in FM23 with the players lunging in all over the place. Boller's coming on for Hungary. They're out very early for the second half. But yeah, I Speak, not our cat at all. Just happens to pop up in a lot of the videos and streams. There's a few that end up in the garden and under trees and whatever else as well. Just hanging out. Stream was great. Started at Bristol City. Voted by my community on a random spin. Well, hopefully you'll be making very good use of Naismith and Cornick then, won't you? The Harry Cornick long throw that the Bristol City researchers far better at finding than the Luton one. Obviously, we did a Bristol City save. It was our last YouTube save of FM23. It was great fun. Really enjoyed it. Second in Championship, undefeated after 3 months. Wow, doing much better than I thought. So in that save, I was a bit weird last year with Bristol City. I started really slowly. I'm trying to think if it was the second season, and I was at risk of the sack, but then just flew through the second half and couldn't lose. It was a really weird spell. We weren't playing well, but we found a way to get results. I changed tactic and it did the job. Oh, Cornick scored some massive goals for me. I know he's not as quick in this year's game, which may make it a bit more difficult, but yeah, he scored It wasn't really at the level consistently, but off the bench he scored some smashing goals. As Hungary try and break down the right early in the second half. Don't know if you've seen as well, Kev, Andros Townsend on co-coms today. Don't know how he's doing, obviously, because I can't have the sound on very loud for these, but nice to see Luton represented at the Euros. Kaminsky and Townsend. And thank you to everyone who's come back for the second half. Ark, thank you for the follow as well. Sorry, I missed that after the raid. Thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate that. Love Andros, what a guy. I tell you what, I think he'll be quite a big asset in the Championship next year. Balls into the box for Morris. I'm assuming Adebayo won't be there with him. But could be pretty handy. Switzerland taking their time over the throw in here. It's flicked on. And again, the pace is causing trouble. It's been kept in. He's turned the defender inside out. Back to the edge for Dwar, and it's a good block. Hungary play it out to the left for Soboslai. And it's well defended. He's gone down too easy. So good at winning the ball back quickly, Switzerland. Whether it's high pressure, whether it's forcing them into wide areas and one-on-ones. But Hungary defensively, I mean, they just can't cope. Switzerland absolutely dominant. And again, they've worked a nice triangle out on the left. They've got a 3-on-2. And they've cut it back to the edge again. Curling left-footed effort, tipped wide by Gulkazi. Maybe should have held that. He's having a lovely day, Dwar, isn't he? He's getting chance after chance after chance. Lovely little ball from Xhaka. The tiniest touch. Yeah, it is a shame that Brown didn't get fit, because I think he would have added something to them on the counter in the way they play. Certainly a little bit of width in that system too, but he's never really been liked by the Scots when he played, so I know, it's a shame he didn't get fit for us as well. He made a difference when he was in the team. Switzerland set piece, not dealt with, still not cleared away. 3 attempts. And in the end, it's booted to halfway where there is no Hungary player despite being 2 down. And Switzerland have plenty of time to start again. Sommer plays out and it's 2 Hungary players pressing. They're not pressing as a team. There's a couple going and the rest are all just sort of sitting in that midfield, giving a yard because they're scared of getting turned, and it's leaving so much space to play out. Soboslai's drifting left for some reason. Maybe he fancies beating that man more and more, but it wasn't. There was a handball shot there, but his arm was down by his side. He can't do anything about that. It just looks a bit disjointed from Hungary, though. They have got the ball on the edge of the final third here. Kirkes cross is blocked. Not had a good game today so far. Adams looks so isolated in game 1. Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. For Scotland, Germany away was, well, it is Germany away, isn't it? Was going to be a difficult game. It is a shame they didn't have that natural width on the right, which would have helped. And again, probably went for a slightly more aggressive midfield setup than he would have done normally. Nud are making Daddy Dyche the proudest man in Prowsville. Let's go and have a look. My only concern is it too complicated in FM terms and what I'm trying to achieve? Let's have a look. The wide playmaker's an interesting one, but otherwise, there's not too much complication on that. Balanced, more direct early crosses, set pieces, more disciplined, higher tempo. Long kicks counter. I don't think it's too complicated. The only thing I worry about is playing the long kicks on the counter if you're playing a lower block and defensive line, because you might get nobody up the pitch in those situations. Trying to get them outside and force crosses, I can understand that. As Hungary break away down the left, it's the first one of those diagonal balls that's actually got them in behind. It's cut back to the edge to Soboslai, took a touch and put it well wide. Offside flag now goes up. Should have hit it first time, to be fair. I speak. The Scots may have lost the match, but they haven't lost their freedom. To be fair, look, they're having a party because they're there. I get it. From the fans' point of view, enjoy it. But you don't want to be embarrassing in games, do you? And to be known as that team as well, where like, Porteous threw into a horrific challenge, not for the first time in his career. There were a few people who were giving away those dirty, cynical yellow card fouls, which with 10, I guess you kind of are always going to get a little bit, but was a little bit of a shame. I think we're going to weirdly see a bit of a pattern in this second half because the Swiss are just trying to keep the ball, keep it calm, lower the tempo, play out from the back. Hungary are pressing high, there's no doubt about that, and they've won it again, but as has so often been the case today, they just keep giving the ball back. And Switzerland can now break away again. They've got a man over on the right-hand side from fullback. And they've got plenty of space to run into here. Xhaka looks left for Rodriguez. Support over on the outside again. Chance to put the cross in. But they're not interested. They just turn back and they'll keep the ball for another minute. And Hungary are back in this shape now. All 10 behind the ball. All 10 in their own half. And the Swiss will then just switch it to the right. Start again. Play a few passes. If they have to come back across, they will. It's time to win a throw-in. Final hour of the partnership with HelloFresh as well. Thank you to everyone who's got involved with that. You do make a big difference to the channel. 60% off your first box and free dessert for life, as I have done. And I'm very much looking forward to the goo melt in the middle chocolate puddings that are coming today, let me tell you. Out for another Switzerland throw. I've been so disappointed by Hungary's performance, whether it's not turning up for the big stage or just a poor effort. It looks so disjointed, and we had so much hope for them. They had that one great chance from the set piece with Orban, but otherwise, it's almost been a training session for Switzerland. Xhaka's dominating that midfield again. He plays it left. I do think the Swiss might struggle with Germany at this tempo, but it's hard to know if they're just playing in second gear at the minute. Xhaka, what a cutback that is. Shots in, good save. Vargas again. Xhaka's playing brilliantly. I have no idea that wide playmaker will make me more solid in defence because of the tucking in. Yeah, I can understand that. Whereas an inverted winger will be more aggressive. Yeah, that's also true. I will say the one good thing that's come out of this is that Hungary have now tried to open up this half. They've not really created much because of a lack of quality on the ball, but we are seeing a bit more attacking intent, if nothing else. Not really getting close enough at the minute, though. Again, the way Switzerland are pressing, it's all as a unit. They've now got 5 players on the 5 Hungary ones in their own half. They're just not letting them out with the simple ball. And when they play up and direct, it gets them in trouble. Again, given away on halfway. And out for a throw-in. It's so well drilled, this Swiss team. It's kind of what I'm expecting to see in the Spain-Croatia game later. I'm expecting to see Croatia be quite combative defensively, try and press and stop Spain getting time on the ball. Once they get into their half, that is. Not immediately, but I just think Spain they're going to be looking for those little threaded through balls like we saw for the Swiss first goal. And they can't afford to give them the time to find them. Foul, a bit of a soft foul there, though, by the Swiss. And Hungary on the right side of the box have a free kick. It's not what you want when you're comfortable at this stage. He didn't need to do it either. Just arm across the shoulder. Leg into the back of the calf as well. So it's a forward players challenge, that one, I think you would say. And Sommer lining up the wall. You feel like it's got to go in soon. If there's not a moment of inspiration like this from a Sobozai free kick, you don't see where the goals come in. Their best two chances have both come from set pieces. And their best chance was the Will Orban header from a recent one, so maybe this is the time for them. Can they make anything happen? I'll give my usual reminder as well, if you're watching on a streaming service in terms of the actual game live, then just pause the stream for 10 seconds so you don't get too up to date or too ahead of anything. As Dominic Szoboszlai is on free kick duty, taking its time to come in this one. Will he shoot? It's that angle where it could be either. Floats it in towards the back post is the right idea, but well dealt with by the Swiss defender, out for a corner kick. Better defensively this time. The Hungarian fans behind that goal getting aggressive, getting behind the team. Steve Miles behind. Szoboszlai cuts it back. It's a shame because you just feel one goal and this game could change, couldn't it? I mean, Szoboszlai's had a bit of a stinker, it's got to be said. Injuries towards the end of the year, he's not quite at his prime. I mean, the Switzerland manager is smiling, but for how long? Because it only takes a few poor minutes to change that, doesn't it? I think we're about to lose our guest. He's bored of Switzerland winning, I think. Oh, Switzerland away on the counter again. Vargas trying to get in behind. It was a lovely touch, but just flicked away in the nick of time by the defender. And again, Hungary playing out, pressed on halfway. This time it's a foul, but they're just not letting them out. They're not letting them get the ball into the danger men. They're thinking we've got to press them before they get there or we're in trouble. Oh, that's awful. Hungary, the right back's taking a free kick. He's got 3 5-yard passes it. Tries to switch it 60-yard. Along the floor, straight to the Swiss attacker. And he should have played to the overlapping fullback. He went for Goendoy. It's over the bar. It's high and ugly. But Hungary are gifting chances. Absolutely gifting them. Really, really poor performance. I didn't expect this at all. We've seen Hungary step up in the big games, in the big tournaments in recent times. But just not happening here. And again, just shanked in towards the midfielder. And it's easily enough dealt with by Kanji. Switzerland had another chance to break away, which they haven't made count. But again, second pass for Hungary, giving the ball away. This time they get it back. Second pass again, given away. This time, no, Szoboszlai wins a free kick for a shirt pull. Freuler will pick up his yellow card, another experienced international. Does anyone in either of the chats disagree with my assessment of Italy-Albania later as well? Because it's the one we haven't really talked about. I think Albania will not be strong enough to deal with Italy. I think Italy will be a surprise in that group perhaps, but the only concern is they've not scored a huge amount of goals recently in their games this year. They have frustration against Turkey. They were almost frustrated by Bosnia, but Albania, they've had days where they've played stronger opposition like Sweden, like Chile, and they've let in goals. So I just feel Italy will comfortably win that game. I guess the one positive, though, we have to take from this as Hungary offside from the free kick. The positive we have to take is from last night and this game, we've got goals. Quite often the first game of tournaments, you can see lower scoring games. You can see slightly more cautious approaches. Here we're not seeing that. Switzerland obviously slowing it down a little bit now, but we're certainly not seeing teams just all out defensive, apart from maybe the first 10 minutes of Scotland yesterday. Lovely 1-2 in the middle from Xhaka. Chance to work forward, but again, just picking when to play the simple pass. That's the difference at the minute with Switzerland. And the balls forward are causing danger as Hungary just about deal with it in the defensive third. That threat on the counter. I tell you what, Switzerland are going to cause teams trouble in this tournament because they've got 3 up front that will threaten anyone for pace. Not many defensive lines will cope with it well. We saw it in the last Euros as well, didn't we, with the game against France. And with half an hour to go, you start to think this is going to be a very comfortable day. Because after that early threat in the second half, Hungary haven't offered an awful lot. And even in possession now, it's laboured. They're looking for this. They're looking for the beautiful, perfect pass through every time. Now, it's offside and it's a foul on Ruben Rodriguez. They do work it in behind that time, but they've had to commit 2 offences to get there. It wasn't offside, so I tell you what, the assistant got that wrong. It would have been pulled back if he'd scored it. Did foul Rodriguez, then put it over 1-on-1 from 8 to 10 yards. Not a great finish at all. But a positive sign that one of those passes has gone through the defence at least. We will do another sticker pack when we get to the final 20 minutes as well. I agree Albania haven't a chance. Their qualification group had no difficult teams to overcome. It wasn't the toughest one, was it? I would agree with you that they perhaps had a friendlier route than some. I think it's unfortunate the group they're in as well. Spain, Italy, Croatia are 3 very good solid sides. None of them concede many goals. I wouldn't expect it to be an easy tie for them in any of the 3 games. Maybe against Croatia, but that's the game we're watching. We'll see if they can produce the goods there. We want that to be a good game. There's Hungary working down the left again. Good ball into the box. Great header just wide. Oh, it's a glorious chance for Varga. That's the one you feel had to go in. Switzerland just sitting a little deep there. It's a good ball in from the left. It's a good rise. And he's put just too much. He's done everything right. He's leapt early. He's going back the way he's going from. Oh, it's a whisker away. That was the one. They are going all out with the press now to try and stop Switzerland getting out, though. There's enough times that you feel Switzerland will break through it to get in themselves, though. And up to the front 3 again. Well dealt with defensively. Yeah, it's a very tough ask from Albania. We've got a bit of cramp in the Swiss camp here. Referee sprinted over. Salah's gone over to help him with the cramp, and the referee sprinted over like he was going to start on him or something. We're going to get a few minutes stoppage time in this half then, are we? I'm not sure if the Swiss number 3's been out for a long time. Did get booked in the 5th minute Vidma, so wants to be careful. I mean, it was a big stretch, but obviously cutting all those holes in the socks doesn't work as well as they seem to suggest it does. If he's getting cramp in the 63rd minute. Not stopping the Swiss fans having a party though, is it? I mean, it's a lovely position to be in to think we're under a little bit of threat. Let's just chuck on an Embolo or an Okafor for a bit of pace on the counter. He's suggesting a sub the right back here. He wants to come off. In the meantime, Hungary continue with the throw-in. Their 2-0 lead intact despite that very good chance. And look, for all we say about Switzerland dominating the game being great value for the lead, Hungary had a great chance, a clear-cut chance from a header in the first half from a set piece with Orban. And they had a brilliant opportunity a minute ago from the header with Varga. And from a set piece and a cross, they could have been 2-2 in a game where they've been outclassed. That's the difference at international tournament level. As that ball's into the back post, this one's got to be scored. Now, the question is, was it a foul on the defender? Because coming in at the back post, it was Varga again. This time his diving header, he's got it low into the net. It's 2-1. But did he cause an infringement on the fullback? Because he certainly had a hand on him and he went down. Let's have a look at this again, because I don't think this is going to be known as clear cut from the first viewing. Nothing given by the referee or the assistant. They work it out to the left here, Hungary. It's the fullback who was off with had cramp. Couldn't get out to Sobozai. It's a great ball in. I don't think there's much in that. Let's have a look at the crossing again. Oh no, never a foul. 2-1. Hungary are back in it. And now, this is the ironic thing, isn't it? Of the 5 biggest chances in this game, Hungary have had 3 of them. They've been awful. They've been the second best team. If they'd taken all of their chances in the air, they'd be ahead now. I'm going for the Hungary goal. They've made another sub as well. On comes Kleinheisler for Nagy. The goal, I think, is awarded. We're just waiting for the sub now. It's Sturgeon coming on. Josh Kevin Clancy says foul. Sturgeon's coming on, who was a big part of our Bournemouth stint in the head coach this year. Oh, and Hamdouni's coming on as well. Steve's man is on. The Burnley boy is coming into the team. Who's he going to replace at that front three? Oh, we've kicked off. They've not made them straight away. 2-1, and Switzerland suddenly have got a game on because they just got a bit complacent. Started sitting a bit deep, playing a few too many passes without really any direction. I'd imagine of the front three it would be Ndoye, but it's not. It's Duar, the goal scorer from the first one. Hamdouni is on to replace him, and you'd assume the second sub's going to be the right back, is it? For Sturgeon, it is. Will that mean Akanji going out? Sharstein in the middle, perhaps? Or Sturgeon just go straight to the right? Looks like he is. Sobozai's definitely playing off this left now. As Hungary have a free kick on halfway. Big switch, held up by the target man. Flicked on into the box. Is causing chaos as well. He's brought it down. He's turned onto his right. And it's blocked away. Switzerland are suddenly panicking. They're in big trouble. After all the dominance, they're giving up key chances in the air. Are Hungary still going to look for the direct pass? They've been given time at the back again. I'm a bit surprised, Steve. I don't know if you are. Hamdouni's just gone straight through the middle. I thought he'd go wide with one of the others moving in. That's a rotten challenge. Salai not even looking for the ball. Just comes across. Barges his man out of play. It's a yellow every day, that one. I mean, they're shouting for handball, which it never was. Best as number 10. Yeah, definitely you'd have him in one of the 3 roles in behind, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have him through the middle. Starting to see a bit of the time wasting for the first time now from Switzerland. Changing a free kick takers a couple of times. Yeah, Josh, I think we're starting to see the fragilities with both teams. Hungary, the first half, they weren't at the party. They've changed it up a little bit tactically. They've moved Sobozai left. They're getting crosses into the box now, which is definitely working better for them. But they've still looked to threat from set pieces. And if they can stay in games defensively, that'll give them one hell of a chance. But like you say, as Hungary chase this game, they're either going to get caught on the counter-attack by a couple of fresh legs coming in from this Swiss team, or they're going to find a way to get an equaliser, and then you'd imagine the Swiss will probably continue to panic. And it's not like the warning sign wasn't there. That Varga header the minute or two before where he should have scored. And he was a whisker away. They had one in the first half with Orban from the set piece. They've had warnings from the aerial threat. As Hungary try to break again, but it's well dealt with by Sturgeon. Xhaka's still controlling it in the middle. They need to get him on the ball, and he's found a beauty again. And Doy's breaking from the left. Into the box, cuts inside the defender, deflected shot just over. Corner kick. And this is the threat now, isn't it? Hungary have got to chase the game, and their defence has looked very suspect. It's slow. It's not quick on the turn. And the Swiss front three is very different. That could have gone in. Actually took it closer to goal, I think, the block. Just over the crossbar in the end, off the back of the Hungarian defender. Now, we haven't actually seen much today because Swiss have been so dominant from open play. We've not really seen much of them from set pieces. And Hungary have been good in the other box, so let's see how it goes here. Vargas taking it, right-footed. Into the front post. Good header, just wide. It's a free header as well for Fabian Schär, who's normally better from those situations. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. But as Josh says, it's been a sloppy game. And here comes Brilembolo. The man, one of our regular commenters, Cameron on YouTube, has asked for in every episode of the Southend Save basically this year. Well, here he comes. He's featuring in a stream now. A reminder as well, we're double header live tomorrow at 10 AM for Football Manager with Aberdeen, finishing season 2. So that's a good ball across the box from Hungary, but well dealt with by Sommer. And then we're live at 5 PM UK time for the second game of the day, which will be Slovenia-Denmark. So we'll talk then about the first one, the Netherlands game from earlier in the day, and we'll obviously look ahead to England-Serbia, which is going to be huge. But for us, the focus will be on the first. The Swiss will nearly break away on the counter again. And as we're into the final 20 minutes, let's do our one of the second half. Euro 2024 stickers. I'm going to pick a random pack out the box. There we go. And we'll see how we go. As we're most of the way through the book now, we're getting a lot of doubles. But we're going to see how we fare this time. So first one, from the group pages, I'm pretty sure we've got this, is Finland and Wales star player. They've gone for Brennan Johnson and Teemu Pukki as the two there. But I think on that page we've got them, as Mbolo is on. Vargas the man to go off. And there you go. It's not a page we're doing great on, but you can see we've got all those mini ones there for the 4 playoff teams. Not got either of the shinies for Austria. Missing one for France, the star player. And we're missing a couple down there from the Netherlands as well. But first one, no success this time. Josh, how's the Willem save going? I'm a long way behind on your saves. Any early thoughts for FM25 too? So the Willem save, I've got to be honest with you, Josh, has probably given me the biggest sort of new lease of life for a long time from a save on YouTube. I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been brilliant fun. The director of football's been great for various different circumstances and with different restrictions. So I've actually found that save really enjoyable. FM25, it's a bit ironic actually. I had most things pretty much wrapped up by March, knowing what I wanted to do. I was going to do a Youth Academy challenge next year and I had everything set up to do so. And I had a couple of sort of saves where we do seasonal updates like we've sort of done with the Hamilton FM09 one. I had them planned as well. I had my Twitch save planned. Then there was a little spanner in the works because a team I go and watch probably 3 or 4 times a year in Boreham Wood got relegated. And they're now in the lowest playable league. As Switzerland away on the counter again. The pass was just behind the striker. The return pass wasn't great. Neither was the first touch. It's a wasted opportunity. Should have probably been 3-1 at some point there. But yeah, Bournemouth have got relegated to the National League South. And look, there was a little bit of the South End save this year where I thought it's too easy to go through the division. So I might have to put some extra restrictions on it. I'm not sure I can turn down the opportunity. Try and take them back up. especially as I go and watch them a fair few times anyway. We almost had the return of the San Marino Challenge. They got to the playoffs in the 4th tier this year. They didn't get promoted to Serie C, so hopefully next year, that might be that one as well, if they can come up back to the 3rd tier of Italian football. So we don't have to wait for the sort of add-ons. Anyway, what about yourselves? Has anyone got any saves planned for FM25? Any certainty of what you're going to be doing? We're on Belgium 5 is the next sticker, and that is Jan Vertonghen. Very experienced player now, but have we got his little face in here already? That's the question. No, we have not. The first one of the day in the second pack we can actually put in the book. That's what we wanted. By the way, Steve, in my save, Hemel Hempstead manager is Robbie Blake. Wow. That is not what I was expecting. Obviously, in real life, David Noble's gone back to St Albans after his failed stint at Wealdstone. As Hungary are working the ball out to the right again. Chance to cross from a dangerous position. Into the back post, it's just over here. It comes out to their man on the left, which is Kirkes. He's just not strong enough here, is he? And Doy wins the free kick. Poor from Kirkes. He's had a really bad game. Third one of the book. Czech Republic 5. And it is David Jurasek. I'm pretty sure we've had this on one of the ones we've opened in the stream before. Let me double check that. Well, we've definitely had him. We're still missing 3 off that page, but you can see you've got the normal pattern 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 as such. Jurasek, unfortunately, no luck this time. Let's move on to the host, shall we? Germany, number 17. And it's one of the goal scorers from last night. Scored a very good 4th goal. It is Füllkrug. You actually get 3 less from the German team because they've got 3 legend slots at the bottom of the page. I don't know if we've got this one. Probably have, disappointingly, but we'll see. We have indeed. So there's a few missing for Germany, but you can see Füllkrug in the middle there. And unlike all the other teams, they've got these 3 slots at the bottom. So we've got Schweinsteiger, Matthias. Not sure who that's going to be. Maybe Oliver Kahn, looking at the height and the age. As Hungary work away down the right. Switzerland now very much into a defensive hold-on mode, aren't they? All into the box. Headed away, but Switzerland can't really get out, though. There is a little lucky bounce off Mbolo there. A chance to break from Ndoye. Ball's too slow. I've played most of FM24 in the National League North, and it's way too easy, even with idiotic director of footballs. Completely agree. Hopefully they'll make it tougher next year, but I think they make it deliberately easy so it appeals more. And it is the type of story that creators do the most, isn't it? Audience that they can make these crazy challenges. Yeah, and it's the same in EAFC. It's the same in all the other games, isn't it? 2 more subs for Hungary. Here comes Big Martin Adam up front. Kirkes is off for the centre forward. I'm not surprised by that. He's a big old unit, this lad. And it's Salai off the centre half. 24 is Dardai coming on, but this is aggressive changes late on from Hungary. They want to nick something from this game. But they're risking the goal difference there, aren't they? They're risking letting it go. Yeah, Josh, I kind of hope it's made more difficult as well. Just in terms of the transfers and the team selection and the squad management at lower levels. That's the thing they've got to get right. But this year we've seen the Premier League sponsorship, women's football, the big new match engine. It's going to be hard to get that focused on as well. It does worry me a touch. Next one up. Croatia 18. And it is a familiar face to Premier League fans because this is Nikola Vlasic, formerly of Everton and West Ham. Didn't really have any success at either, did he? But Group B, let's have a look at Croatia. And unfortunately, on that page, we've got all bar 1. So you can see Vlasic is now not that side. On the third line, as Fabian Schär has just gone down injured. Off the ball with his knee as well. Bit of a worry. And then the last one, unfortunately, I'm aware we've got. It is Slovakia number 1. It is the badge. Unfortunately, though, we go over to Group E, sorry. I'm pretty sure we might have that 3 times now, but there you go. Slovakia. There is the badge. Still need 5 Slovakian players. We've got the skipper and all the shinies, the Skriniars. There's not a lot going forward in that team, though, is there? Apart from a bit of hype. I hope it'll be easier to sell players when you're in the Premier League. Steve, the thing that I found most interesting with the Southend Rise, and I talked about it a lot during the videos, is that there was very few offers for my players. And the ones that we did get were rejected, even though there were huge money offers in terms of wage increases for players. Oh, great feet on the left from Hungary. It's into the box. First header's up more than away. Back to the edge of the box. It's fallen 25 yards out. Heavy touch. Cleared away by Switzerland. They are backs to the wall now. This is a cracking finish to the game. You've got to be fair. That Hungary goal's made it a thriller to finish. But yeah, I was really surprised. Like, you've seen with my club, Luton, when we won League 2 and then when we finished second League 2 and got promoted League 2, League 1 back-to-back, then Jack Stacey was gone. James Justin was gone. We're losing players all the time, even in the years since, just to other clubs in the division that can pay more wages. Cornick and Naismith to Bristol City being examples. Collins went to Derby via Cardiff City. And that's the thing that I struggle with, is that there were no offers to get people out. Trying to sell Dara O'Shea, no offers at all, even using an intermediary. Yeah, it just seems like the windows are quiet generally. And he's one of the quickest players in the Premier League. It's miraculous that he's not wanted. Good switch of play from Switzerland. This is the counter they were waiting for. And Doy is challenged brilliantly by the substitute Dardai. And the cramps starting to set in. These Swiss players don't look that fit. The Hungary fans are getting very agitated because this game is really starting to get slowed down now. Oh, he sliced it. It's not even a challenge. I thought it was the ball was won. It wasn't. It just sliced the chance. It's not great, is it? Hungary trying to work forward, but this is the thing now. Last 20 minutes, Hungary look the fresher side, and they've managed to force a breakaway down this side. Sturgeon can't get back. It's a 4-on-4 briefly, but Switzerland are flying back now. Is out to the right for Hungary. Ball in towards Adam, headed away. Oh, you feel they're going to get one more chance here. The amount of balls they're putting into the box, they're going to get a good chance somewhere. I really hope when we're here tomorrow watching Slovenia-Denmark, this game's going to be as good, but I feel Slovenia will be a little bit more robust defensively. What we need, isn't it? Early Denmark goal, Slovenia come out and score, and then we get a bit of fun. I mean, I will say this, having watched the last 10 minutes or so since he's come on, I think Dardai might be starting ahead of Kirkes next game. Based on what we've seen. Big ball forward again towards the 2 big men up front. Varga can't win that one. Switzerland get it away, but Dardai's over first. Commits the foul, but it probably stops the counter, to be honest. It's a good enough foul for them. I can understand why he's committed to it. Thank you to everyone who's sticking along on YouTube as well. Lovely to see the simultaneous stream working technically. We will be live twice tomorrow, 10 AM for FM, 5 PM UK time for Slovenia, Denmark. As with 5 to go here, plus stoppage time. Switzerland 2-1 up, but Hungary definitely finishing stronger. Switzerland making a couple of changes now to try and freshen it up, as Ndoye's just gone down with cramp again. Yeah, Steve, it's a big game to throw him into for the first one, isn't it? Switzerland have a chance to work forward with Mbolo. Sturgeon puts it out, and now we're going to get the sub. Definitely the time wasting style now, isn't it? I needed the mug here for Switzerland. And Doy's coming off. I mean, that front three have got through a lot of running. Freuler's off as well. That makes sense. He had the booking. They're going to need to commit a few fouls near the end. On for them. Sierra, who's popped up in FM save for us before, hasn't he? Who was the other one that came on? I didn't see. 26, Ryder, sorry. I mean, to be fair, Kirkes won't have had a great deal of senior football at the top level either way, will he? So, do feel from a bit. There we go. Confirmation. Freuler and Ndoye off. Sierra and Ryder, the two on. Big ball forward from Soboslai on the switch from a free kick. First challenge won by Hungary again. Flick down on the edge of the box. Chance for Dardai. Can't quite get it into danger. Back in towards the box again. Well dealt with. Fabian Schär does really well there. And just smashes it out for a throw in. You think where Switzerland were at the hour mark, we thought this was just going to peter out. They have made very hard work of what was a very comfortable game. And you can see Hungary's tactic now. Get it wide, put it into the box. They're winning every first knockdown. And it's just whether they can get on one of those second balls. But that pass is poor. And now Switzerland are away with a 2-on-2. This is the counter they've been waiting for. Oh, he's got to switch it. And it's still going to get in. Oh, the referee's given a free kick. Oh, no. The referee's given a free kick when they've gone through 1-on-1. Oh, I mean, he stopped it straight away for the yellow. It's my biggest bugbear as a referee that doesn't play advantage. It's a big mistake. And the Swiss manager's been booked, but I can completely understand the fury. Whatever happened to house move? So we had one fall through. We're still looking at the minute. Hopefully it will happen soon. Be nice to not have an office that's also a bedroom. Would be great. It'd be weird if your Luton frame isn't directly behind you. It'll be somewhere. The Luton frame will be in there. I've got a Luton shirt frame that needs to be in there. And I've got a couple of little like YouTube bits that need to be in there as well. So don't you worry. It will still be in the background in some capacity. And I'll probably have more wall space because it'll be an actual wall behind me rather than a bed and bed frame and all that sort of stuff as well. This time Xhaka's pushed over. I mean, Hungary are desperate to get the ball back, but this isn't the way to do it. Yeah, I mean, look, you've got to expect there to be mistakes. The officials have made less mistakes than the players today. However, it'll be a gut-wrenching one if Hungary equalise. So they have got a chance here, Switzerland, to break forward. Shot from 30 yards blocked. It's a corner. They'll take that in the 89th minute, let me tell you. It's another one of those ugly ones where they're finding a way. I think we'll see at least 5 or 6 minutes added on here, to be fair. Did that ball go out? Not quite. I think we will see a fair few minutes added to this game. There is still one change for Hungary. I wondered if they'd throw someone else on up front, but they have played really well the last 20 minutes or so. I'm not surprised to see him try and stick with it. Oh, flicked header from Xhaka. Good save at the near post. Oh, it takes a deflection. Gulkazi does really well there, the keeper, because he makes the save and then he boots it out with his other foot for a corner kick before the second player can get there. Important save that. No one on the post for Hungary, which is interesting. Nearly cost them there. It's into that range again. It seemed like they'd been targeted by Switzerland. Corner kick kid, Akanji just puts it towards the corner flag, going out very slowly. We're 5 seconds away from finding out how many minutes are going to be added on. It's been great to have you all here this afternoon. I appreciate so many of you popping in. How many have we got? 5 minutes. Yep, we thought it'd be 5 or 6. Hungary have a chance to break here on the right-hand side. Switzerland playing basically with a flat back 5 at this point. Xhaka one of two sitting in front, but they've got 4 big men in the box at the back post. The cross is blocked though. And he's out for a Hungary throw. Will we see late drama? Just imagine, it's a poor first touch. They've given it away, and now it's a one-on-one for Breland Bolo. He's got a man coming up on the right. He's got to lay him in. You've got to play it. He does. He's through. It's a heavy touch. Round the goalkeeper. Forced wide. Can't keep it in. He does, in fact, but it's off the line by Hungary. Really got to make it count. It was a poor touch and ball from Mbolo. And then it was a really poor second touch by the Swiss player as well. Josh, you've certainly picked an entertaining game stream. To be fair, I kind of mention it, Josh, as well as it being the games that are lesser fancied and that people won't be getting up for and have lots of bias towards. The reason I do stream these sorts of games in the Euros is partly so we can have a bit of a chat while we're doing so, obviously, and talk about the bigger games coming later or before. But they are normally those entertaining games. We've mentioned it. If they were presuming that Germany are going to win the group, these two teams look at this game and think we've got to get a result because otherwise we're not going to get through. A Switzerland break on the counter again. Hungary have left no one back. It's a good first challenge. It's a good second challenge. But Switzerland starting to look the more threatening now with 3 minutes to go. But these games are always the more entertaining. You look at Slovenia, Denmark tomorrow. If they think England are going to win the group, they've both got to go and target a win. The same on Monday when we're looking at Romania, Ukraine. The same on Tuesday with Turkey, Georgia. They're the games where you think we've got to win these. Because we think the likes of Portugal or England or Germany are going to win our groups. Big ball forward, in towards the box, beyond everyone. And Sommer will take his time. We're halfway through stoppage time. We've not seen really a threat on a Swiss goal since stoppage time started. Fancy Scotland's chance a bit more now after watching this one. Yeah, Hungary have been really surprising. Oh, it's a poor header. And Mbolo's in. He's lost something, but he chips the keeper. It's 3-1. It's game over. And that sums up this game perfectly. A poor defensive mistake, a simple counter-attack, and an easy finish. Breland Bolo scores. He gets his moment of limelight on this channel after all. It's just a straight ball forward. The Hungary defender heads it directly straight up above him. Mbolo's there, takes the ball, flicks it over the keeper. The Hungary boss is gutted. He's so annoyed. But yeah, you look at this as a Switzerland fan today and you think, as a Scotland fan, you think both of these teams defensively, they're there for the taking. That's such bad defending. He's lost like a brace from his knee or his hamstring there. It's a great finish. Really classy. And if they can build him up some fitness as the tournament goes along, he's going to be a bit of a handful, isn't he? Not fully fit, but enough to contribute off the bench. There are a lot of drinks flying around in that Swiss end there. People will be getting a bit soggy in that one. But with almost the final kick of the game, it is Hungary 1, Switzerland 3. Will that be a goal difference factor as well now? You look at if Hungary go and lose to Germany, if Scotland can then beat Hungary by a couple. Will that level out the goal difference as well in that battle for third? Clinical edge from a very good striker. And ultimately, that has been the difference today. Switzerland have got electric pace. They've had 3 starters up there that have done it, and they've brought on 2 subs that have done it as well. 2 minutes to go. Referee signalling. We're still going to play 2 more minutes after this, but that has been the difference. Hungary didn't take their best chances from set piece, and they didn't turn up first half. They don't deserve a result from this, but they've had enough chances to get one in the end. Cross from the left is blocked. Switzerland head it away. Josh, you said it could be 4-1 to Switzerland, and they're away again down the right with Mbolo. 3 arriving in the middle. Can he make it count? Bolo's in. He puts it across goal. There's nobody there. Xhaka will try and keep it in on the other side and does. And he'll just slow it down now, waiting for support. He's played it off the player, but it's gone back off the corner flag. In the end, he wins the throw, though. Time wasting now, but let's be honest, it doesn't matter. In 1 minute, they're not going to concede 2 goals anyway. And Bolo holds up in the corner. Lovely little turn. Doesn't get the free kick, but he won't complain too much as Ruben Rodriguez wins it back again. Switzerland stopping Hungary getting out from open play. They've offered next to nothing because of that. Hungary now, they've just lost discipline. There's rash challenges everywhere. There's stupidity off the ball. It's been a frustrating day for them because, a bit like Scotland last time, they haven't turned up. I keep having this conversation. People are forgetting goal difference still matters. Yeah, it didn't help with the commentary last night, was it? Yes, it doesn't matter. But if you finish third, it matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for Scotland if they go and get 4 points out of these 2 and finish second. It does matter if they finish in third place. And that now is going to look more likely because Switzerland have picked up 3 big points and a good goal difference as well. And we're about to get the final whistle, I think. A really decent result for Switzerland. Not the best performance in the world, but comfortable enough. And for large parts of the game, they were comfortable. It was just those few minutes where Hungary got the goal and peppered the box with crosses. But that is our first watch-along of Euro 2024, and it was an entertaining game, wasn't it? A good one to pick. Steve, not seeing any chat at the moment. Oh, I'm not sure why that is. It's okay on mine. But don't forget, Steve, some of these messages are YouTube, which you won't be seeing if you're watching on Twitch. You'll only be seeing them on the screen. But then Josh's ones aren't popping up on there either, are they? That's a good point, Steve. Well said. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. Yeah, the YouTube messages aren't showing on there for some reason. I don't know why that has suddenly changed. Josh, even for second place, though, if you have Switzerland, Scotland, Hungary all on 3 points, then it becomes huge. Yeah, but then it's still... That's within head-to-head goal difference. So then the goal difference against Germany won't count for those games. It will be between Switzerland, Hungary and Scotland. Their head-to-head records will be determined by goal difference as well. But that then won't include the Germany game. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened at the end there with the YouTube chat not showing. However, generally speaking, it's worked pretty well. I want to thank you all for coming along for it. Lovely to have so many of the regulars in, both on YouTube and Twitch for this game. It was an entertaining one, and hopefully tomorrow's will live up to it as well. We'll have the FM stream at 10 in the morning. Liam, you made it just for the end. We're about to go. Thank you very much for popping in. Thank you to Josh for being the person that enabled me to check the YouTube one was working properly. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you to the Raider in terms of Kef as well. And thank you all for being here. We will be live tomorrow, FM in the morning, 10 AM UK time. Steve, I don't expect you to make that one, trust me. But we will be live for the second game tomorrow as we watch Slovenia, Denmark. We'll build up to the England game. Liam will absolutely hate it because it'll be another non-England game in the Euros where we just talk about England all the time. And I speak, thank you very much for popping in. Been great to have you in. And good luck with the rest of your Plymouth save. Hopefully it's third time lucky for you. We'll see you again here tomorrow for a double header. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you for the game, Steve. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. If you're on Twitch, we'll go and find someone to raid now. We'll hand over. If you're on YouTube, we'll see you again next time. But there's no one I'm following live apart from Dupe. So we'll go over there, over on Twitch. And for now, thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll have a bit more luck with the stickers tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have just as entertaining a game. It's been a great day. I've really enjoyed it. I'll see you all tomorrow.